everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Everybody wants to get out there and get something going, that viral, that that one video. It's gonna make them popular. But as you know, and I know, you have to really enjoy what you're doing. You can't just go out there and just, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Hopefully most people are, whatever they're doing on YouTube, they do it because they enjoy it. I enjoy looking for truth and stories, and I enjoy the stories. I enjoy reaching out to different genres and seeing different people's talents and gifts. And I mean, to me, it's just an amazing thing, YouTube. But listen, man, we're a brand new channel. We're out here doing it. We need you guys to hit that subscribe button, man. Get us past our fire. We want to hit 1,000. Once we hit 1,000, we'll be free to do what we want, and we can do more. That's just the way YouTube operates. Right now, we're just a small kid on the block. But listen, we believe that what we stand for here at Truthtellers, I'm Big Rev, that, man, with social issues to uh, spiritual, the good, bad, the ugly, uh, we're looking for the true stories. We're not looking for AI. We're not looking for all that fake stuff. We're looking to tell the true stories, good stories, uh, stories like this. Why kids and young people get involved to the point where they feel like they have to risk their lives. So listen, this is all true stuff, sad stories, but that's what we're doing tonight. So listen, please subscribe, hit the comment button. We want to hear your comments on every time we go to our next clip. Please make a comment what you thought about that. Let's get your input. Remember, you're coming into my home. Say hi, be respectful, and I say this: you subscribe on my channel, I'm gonna go to your channel. If you have a channel, I'll go to your channel and subscribe. Just hit me up, let me know what's up, because listen, I believe we should help and support one another in what we're doing. So no further ado, why don't we go ahead and just get busy on this one.
Aspiring content creators chase viral fame through increasingly dangerous stunts, never imagining that their pursuit of internet stardom could become their final performance. In this video, we're examining 6 disturbing cases of YouTubers who died while filming.
Time to eat
Each
my
happens during
late
challenges
dinner.
so reckless, you'll question what people will risk for views and subscribers. It was August 19th, 2017, at an underground boxing gym in Detroit, Michigan. The afternoon heat made the poorly ventilated space stifling inside the converted warehouse. Marcus Rodriguez, 23, was a fitness YouTuber from Phoenix who posted workout videos and street fight breakdowns. After his girlfriend left him, he worked part-time at a supplement store while desperately seeking viral content.
Oh,
His channel had stagnated for months, with videos averaging fewer than 200 views. Following harsh comments questioning his toughness and calling him a fake fighter, Marcus contacted local pro boxer
sorry about that, chop.
offering $500 for a filmed sparring session. The boxer had recently lost his last 3 fights and was struggling financially, making the offer tempting despite his reservations. The gym owner initially refused the request, citing insurance concerns and safety protocols about amateur-professional matchups. But after brief discussion and reassurances about limited contact, he allowed the session to proceed. Marcus's filming partner, who had worked with him for 6 months, expressed serious reservations about the plan and suggested alternative content ideas. Even Williams, despite needing the money, questioned whether an untrained YouTuber should face someone with a 12-3 professional record. Marcus dismissed all
Wow.
warnings, believing his 8 months of casual training at a Phoenix gym were sufficient preparation. He had watched countless boxing tutorials online and convinced himself that technique could overcome experience. That afternoon, Marcus arrived with cheap camera equipment and borrowed gear that didn't fit properly, headgear that was too large, gloves that were too small, and a mouthguard that kept slipping. He continued making provocative statements
See what I
from the
mean? These
camera
guys don't know
throughout setup,
nothing, man.
insisting that Williams was past his prime and claiming he
It's not
intended to
worth it.
expose what he believed were staged or exaggerated elements of boxing. Williams began with extremely light contact, essentially shadowboxing with minimal physical engagement. Marcus repeatedly demanded harder hits and questioned the fighter's intensity on camera,
Wow.
accusing him of holding back and making the session look staged. When Williams reluctantly increased his power to approximately 30% intensity, still well below sparring level, Marcus immediately showed signs of panic and disorientation. His footwork deteriorated, and he began swinging wildly without technique or defensive awareness. After taking a solid jab that barely registered as moderate contact by professional standards, Marcus stumbled backward, his ill-fitting mouthguard flying out. The oversized headgear offered little stability and tended to shift with any impact, allowing his head to snap back more than properly fitted equipment would have.
Wow.
Embarrassed and disoriented, he charged forward with his hands down, attempting a wild haymaker. Williams instinctively threw a defensive uppercut, a textbook counter that would barely faze an amateur boxer. Catching Marcus squarely on the chin, Marcus dropped instantly, his head striking the canvas with an audible impact that echoed through the gym. There were no ringside medical personnel on site, and staff had limited training, leaving them unable to provide more than basic first aid while waiting for paramedics. Williams immediately stepped back, his expression shifting from mild annoyance to concern as he realized something was seriously wrong. Marcus's body went completely limp, with no defensive reflexes or attempts to break his fall. Emergency services arrived within 7 minutes, but Marcus never regained consciousness. He was transported to a nearby trauma facility, where neurological tests revealed massive brain swelling. He died 3 days later from traumatic brain injury and cerebral hemorrhaging. The footage was immediately confiscated by police for their investigation into potential manslaughter charges, though Williams was ultimately cleared. Investigators later determined that the session had been fully consensual, and the reviewed footage confirmed the strike was an instinctive defensive reaction rather than intentional harm. Marcus's friend deleted all related content and never filmed again. Williams quit professional boxing following the incident. The gym implemented stricter policies prohibiting any amateur-professional contact. It was March 26, 2016,
Man.
in a suburban garage in Riverside, California. The clear skies provided excellent...
All for fame, chat. All for fame. You know what I'm saying? Trying to just get someone to like what he's doing, man. I mean, if you're gonna do some of this stuff, you gotta have some, some type of, you know, training. You know, you can't just go in there, man. You ain't never been punched before like that. Yeah, but that's what this film's all about, man. Lord have mercy.
Natural lighting for
My
filming.
God.
Trevor Kowalski, 20,
Sheesh.
was a community college dropout who posted videos eating unusual food combinations and performing mostly harmless stunts. His most popular video involved eating a sandwich made with breakfast cereal and ranch dressing. After seeing other YouTubers gain millions of views from dangerous challenges, he planned to consume small amounts of household chemicals, claiming he had researched safe quantities online. Trevor had been struggling with depression since dropping out of school and
What?
saw viral fame as his only path to success. Trevor lived with his parents, who were unaware of his planned stunt. His sister discovered his handwritten notes detailing the chemical consumption sequence and attempted to dissuade him from the plan, threatening to tell their parents. A chemistry student from his former college left detailed warnings in his announcement video comments, explaining the dangers of mixing household chemicals. Multiple longtime subscribers expressed serious safety concerns, with several threatening to unsubscribe if he proceeded. Trevor dismissed all warnings, insisting he understood the risks and had calculated safe dosages.
What?
He had spent
For
hours on
what?
obscure forums where
I mean,
people
come
claimed
on,
to have
man.
safely consumed small amounts of cleaning products. That afternoon, Trevor arranged 8 different cleaning products in his garage: dish soap, window cleaner, toilet bowl cleaner, bleach,
Come
ammonia-based
on.
floor cleaner, oven cleaner, drain opener,
What?
and furniture polish. His friend operated the camera from approximately 10 feet
Man, what
away,
kind of friend is
positioned
that,
near
bro?
the
Come on.
garage door for quick exit if needed. Trevor started with dish soap, which caused immediate nausea but no serious effects. He then consumed small amounts of window cleaner and toilet bowl cleaner, experiencing increasing stomach pain and dizziness, but continuing with the challenge.
Wow.
The critical error occurred when Trevor decided to mix bleach with ammonia-based floor cleaner in a
Nope.
plastic container,
Nope.
intending to dilute the mixture with water before consumption.
No.
The moment the
That's
chemicals
the
combined,
worst mixture.
chloramine gas was immediately produced, a toxic vapor that began rising from the container.
Yep.
Trevor, not understanding the chemical reaction occurring, leaned over the container and inhaled deeply while attempting to drink the mixture. The chloramine gas immediately attacked his respiratory system.
Yep.
Trevor began coughing violently and gasping for air, dropping the container and spilling the mixture across the garage floor. His breathing became increasingly labored as his lungs filled with fluid. He started showing signs of severe respiratory distress, clutching his throat and chest while making desperate wheezing sounds. His friend dropped the camera equipment and called emergency services, but Trevor was already collapsing, his airways severely damaged by the toxic gas. The chemical odor filled the garage, forcing his friend to retreat outside while
Yep.
maintaining the 911 call.
The
Paramedics
worst
arrived within
mixture
8 minutes, requiring breathing
is
apparatus to
ammonia
enter the
and bleach.
contaminated
It'll kill
garage.
you.
They found Trevor unconscious with blue lips and fingernails, clear signs of oxygen deprivation. Trevor died en route to the hospital from acute respiratory failure and pulmonary edema caused by chloramine gas inhalation, with his lungs essentially drowning in their own fluids.
Yep.
The footage was turned over to investigators and used in the subsequent inquiry into online challenge culture. Trevor's friend required extensive therapy and never filmed content again. The family pursued legal action against the platform regarding dangerous content policies, resulting in updated community guidelines. It was November 17th, 2018, in the parking lot of a busy burger restaurant in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The overcast skies provided steady lighting for filming. Brandon Thompson, 25, was a 340-pound former college lineman who posted eating challenge videos. His most successful video involved eating 12 pounds of barbecue in 30 minutes. Recently divorced and living with his parents after losing his construction job, he announced he would break the unofficial record of 32 burgers in 1 hour, despite having no competitive eating training. And
Do you know what that can do to your body? I mean, even like drinking too much water. I mean, you drink, too much water at one time, you can drown yourself. I mean, where's the water going? It's gonna fill up in you. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I mean, same thing with food. Where's it gonna go? You're just gonna, come on. We have to think, guys, like common sense. Just like the chemicals, the worst two chemicals that you could ever mix, and you learn this like in high school. Uh, I learned this on jobs. I learned this in high school. Is bleach and ammonia. Those two you never want to keep in a house together, or you want to keep them completely separated. I've seen guys make a bucket of cleaner, throw a little bit of bleach, and then go to throw some ammonia with them. I'm like, hey, you can't do that, because the minute it hits that water with that bleach, it's gonna smoke, and that's what will kill you, is breathing that stuff. I mean, it literally starts smoking. Anytime you start cleaning something and it starts smoking, walk away from it. Completely walk away from it. I mean, guys, we got to use chat. We got to use our common sense, man. And if you don't know, then Google it. Talk to Siri, man. Talk to somebody and say, listen, if I mix this and if I do this, check, man. You want to be successful. You want to be alive though too. These guys ain't thinking, can I die from it? Yeah, you could die from eating too. Yeah, you could die from drinking too much or mixing certain chemicals. And so come on, guys, we got to listen, chat. If you're a young man on there and you're like, yeah, but man, I want to do something crazy. I want to get people's attention. That's good. That's fine. You can do funny, crazy stuff without killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you have to do your homework, man. And if you're going to do an eating competition, you have to prepare for that eating competition. Just like a fighter prepares. You can't just jump on this. I'm going to eat 27 burgers. Come on, bro. Most of us could maybe eat 3 or 2 or 3 if we push ourselves. You know what I mean? But we're like, ugh, you know what I mean? Matt, come on, bro. 27. Come on, bro. Think about it. Come on, Chad.
Documented history of acid reflux and high blood pressure. Brandon had been gaining weight rapidly since his divorce, using food as an emotional coping mechanism. His doctor had recently warned about his blood pressure readings of 180 over 110 and
Jeez.
recommended immediate weight loss. His ex-wife sent concerned messages about his increasingly self-destructive behavior, noting his depression since their divorce. The restaurant manager initially attempted to refuse the large order, citing company policies about excessive purchases, but Brandon's friend convinced him it was for a legitimate video project.
Wow.
Brandon insisted he understood his own limits and capabilities, having successfully completed smaller eating challenges without incident. He had researched
Sure he
competitive
did.
eating techniques online, but had never practiced proper jaw exercises or stomach expansion methods.
Jaw
That afternoon,
exercises.
Brandon
My
arranged
God.
multiple cameras in the parking lot with his friend filming from various angles. He had 50 big burgers spread across several folding tables, with a digital timer prominently displayed, and bottles of water for assistance.
God,
The
come
temperature
on,
of the food
man.
varied significantly, with some burgers cooling to room temperature during setup. Brandon started aggressively, finishing 12 burgers in the first 15 minutes using a technique of removing buns and compressing the meat. His pace was unsustainable, but adrenaline and determination kept him moving. By 20 minutes, he had consumed 18 burgers, but was already showing signs of distress, sweating profusely, breathing heavily, and experiencing visible stomach distension. At 30 minutes, having consumed 25 burgers, he was visibly struggling, with grease and sauce covering his hands and face. The
Come on,
critical moment
Chad.
occurred at burger number 38, approximately 45 minutes into the challenge, with Brandon still facing the main camera as the recording continued uninterrupted. His stomach was severely distended, and his body began rejecting the massive food intake. He began choking on a large piece of meat and bun. Instead of stopping and seeking help, he
Jeez.
attempted to wash it down with an entire bottle of soda, causing violent projectile vomiting. The combination of
Oh
partially
my.
digested food mass and stomach acid caused him to aspirate, inhaling vomit into his lungs. Brandon made wet, gurgling sounds that initially seemed like dramatic performance until his lips began turning purple from oxygen deprivation.
Oh.
Food was everywhere, and he clearly couldn't breathe properly, clawing at his throat while his friend frantically called 911.
Hit his stomach,
Emergency
man.
services arrived within 6 minutes,
I would have punched
but
him.
Brandon
Ah.
died from asphyxiation and cardiac arrest, caused by extreme overeating and aspiration of vomited food matter. The footage was retained by police during investigation and later provided to his family. The restaurant temporarily closed for cleaning and implemented strict policies against excessive orders. Brandon's friend became an advocate against dangerous eating challenges.
God, man. All for what?
It was June
He
17th,
didn't.
2017, on Highway 95 outside Las Vegas, Nevada.
Lord.
The desert highway stretched endlessly in both directions, with sparse traffic during the late afternoon hours. Kyle Martinez, 22, was an auto parts store employee who posted videos modifying cheap cars with salvaged parts. His most popular video involved installing a cold air intake on a Honda Civic that convinced him that automotive content was his niche. He had spent 3 months and $1,200 installing a homemade turbo kit on his 1998 Honda Civic, using mismatched parts from online auctions and junkyards. Ignoring proper tuning and safety protocols to save money, Kyle had dropped out of community college's automotive program after one semester, believing he could learn everything from YouTube tutorials. Kyle's mechanical knowledge was limited to basic maintenance and YouTube tutorials. He had never worked with forced induction systems and didn't understand the critical importance of proper tuning, fuel delivery, and engine management. His turbo kit consisted of a Chinese turbocharger, salvaged intercooler, homemade piping, and a basic boost controller,
Oh,
all
come
installed
on.
without professional tuning or safety considerations. The
Oh, man.
installation had taken him multiple weekends, with several components held together by improvised brackets and excessive amounts of silicone sealant. His co-worker at the auto parts store, who had formal automotive training, expressed serious concerns about the boost controller installation and lack of engine management tuning. A local mechanic refused to inspect the modifications after seeing the poor welding quality and mismatched components. Kyle's girlfriend pleaded for him to test it safely at a drag strip or controlled environment rather than on public highways. Kyle insisted his mechanical knowledge was sufficient for highway testing, dismissing concerns as jealousy over his YouTube success.
Here we go.
That afternoon, Kyle mounted cameras inside and outside his car, planning to film high-speed runs on a relatively empty highway stretch with his friend following in another vehicle. He chose this location because it offered long sight lines and minimal traffic, but it also meant help was far away if something went wrong. Initial attempts went smoothly, reaching 85 miles per hour with the turbo system functioning adequately at moderate boost levels. The car felt faster than stock, and Kyle was encouraged by the performance gains. Emboldened by success and eager to create dramatic content, he decided to maximize the boost settings to their highest level, approximately 15 psi,
Oh,
on
my
an engine designed
God.
for naturally aspirated operation. At 92 miles per hour, the poorly welded intercooler piping separated under pressure, causing a massive boost leak and immediate loss of power. The sudden pressure drop caused the engine to backfire violently through the intake system, creating loud explosions and flames. Kyle panicked when the engine began misfiring violently and producing thick black smoke, jerking the steering wheel while attempting to pull over. The car began weaving erratically as Kyle fought to control it, while the engine continued backfiring, with the onboard cameras still recording. In his panic, he overcorrected the steering, causing the vehicle to launch off the roadway at
There we
approximately
go.
75
Bye-bye.
miles per hour. The car became airborne briefly before impacting the desert floor and rolling multiple times, with each impact crushing the roof progressively lower. Emergency responders arrived within 12 minutes,
God,
but
man.
Kyle died instantly when the car's roof collapsed during the third roll, causing severe cervical spine fractures and traumatic brain injury. The footage was recovered from multiple cameras and used in the investigation. The highway was closed for 4 hours during evidence collection and vehicle recovery. Kyle's friend quit street racing and became a driving safety instructor. The incident prompted local authorities to increase patrols on that highway section.
So, Chad, think about this,
It
man.
was
This young guy, he gets a little bit of success. He goes and spends a bit of money on his car. Instead of doing it right, he doesn't. But the truth of the matter is, that's not even really what kind of killed him. Yeah, it backfired and all that stuff, but it was his driving too. He was a professional driver. He's trying to, hit 100, 110, 120, you know, anything over 80, you better know how to drive. You better know how to hit corners. You better know how to slow down on corners. You better know how to, shift down. Even on automatics, you can shift it down. A lot of people don't know that. You can shift down just to slow the car down a little bit more instead of just all brakes. You know, there's a lot that you can do, man. But if you're not he's a young dude. He doesn't have the experience to be driving like that. And again, doing it for what? For fame, bro. Trying to be like this, the next YouTuber out there, or blah blah blah. No, man, it's not worth it. These young people are are literally, bro, throwing their lives away. I mean, come on, man. Oh, that's tight, bro. Oh yeah, you're up on top of a building and he slips and he falls and I mean it's just stories after stories after stories of these YouTubers, man. And they get high off it. They're getting the wrong high out of it instead of doing something that's safe and if you are gonna do something that's risky, that you prepare for it. Especially if you're making money on it, you make sure you have somebody that's knowledgeable. A stunt man, somebody that can give you some feedback. Somebody say no, don't do it this way, do it that way. And if it doesn't work, at least you'll still live through it. Or you know what I mean? There's there's a lot of good people out there can really train you to do crazy stuff, but do it safe. That's it. Just do it safe, man. Not just I could do this. I could survive it, or I've never fallen. I'll never fall. I'll never this. I'll never. Come on, man. You're the next person in line. Because even professionals prepare for the worst. That's why they're called accidents. They don't prepare, oh, I'm going to have an accident. No, they prepare in 10 different ways not to avoid that accident. And if that's not working, then we need to do it this way. And as they make the movie and they continue to make, they say, okay, that works, that doesn't work. Now let's go back, let's try that again. But they have to, safety has to be number one, because what good is it that you're not alive and let's say you do achieve and and it goes viral and wow, but then you died in the film. No, does make no sense that you give your life over something that is going to be forgotten in a week from now. Come on, chat, wake up.
September 12th, 2015, in downtown Portland, Oregon. Pioneer Courthouse Square was busy with weekend shoppers and tourists. Jason Williams, 21, was a community college student who posted prank videos. His content typically involved harmless pranks like fake spider scares and whoopee cushion jokes, with his most popular video
Yeah,
earning
see?
thousands of views for a fake lottery ticket prank on his roommate.
Yeah, see.
Recently fired from his retail job
That
for
stuff's
inappropriate
funny.
behavior with customers, specifically making crude jokes and filming without permission. He was running out of money and increasingly desperate for viral content. Jason had been struggling academically and saw YouTube success as his only alternative to finishing his degree. Jason had been inspired by other prank channels that gained millions of views from increasingly dangerous and realistic scenarios.
Oh, here we
He
go.
planned to approach strangers with a realistic airsoft pistol, demand their
Oh,
wallet, then reveal the prank while his friend
bad
filmed from a
idea, bro.
distance. The airsoft gun
From
was a
the
detailed
gate.
replica of a Glock 17, indistinct.
Okay, first of all, what state you from? Now, if you live in Arizona, Texas, Oregon, you know, the list goes on. You know, where you can carry a gun that's legal to banish a weapon to protect yourself. So if he's in any of those states, which is a few of them out there, well, his odds just went up as far as danger goes. Now, if he's in California, I think people carry guns no matter what. They don't care. They don't care about the law. Today, people are going to do whatever it takes to protect themselves. Rather they're carrying a gun or not, they're gonna pull something out on you. So this is not a good idea. If you're not a professional and if you don't have a professional security team, and if you do, most likely they're not gonna let you do that anyways. They're gonna if you are, they're gonna kind of soften the blow, so to speak, that people make sure that it's contained and the individual is not carrying before they even protect, maybe approach him. You know, I'm telling you, you just don't know who you're gonna approach these days. Now, I haven't seen this, but To me, that's the first thing I think of, is that you're going to pull a gun out on somebody and make them think that you're going to rob them or hurt them. The gun says it all. There's some people that will freak out on you, or there's people that are trained to grab their weapon and flip around fast as they can before you can even say, wait, pop, 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 pop. 9 shots into you before you even know it. I'm just telling you, think about what I just said. If you're even thinking about doing stuff like this, you have just put yourself on a bad list, and you definitely will go home early. I'm telling you right now, chat. Hit the comments, man. Give me some feedback. What you think? Is this one of the stupidest ideas, or do you think, oh man, this is gonna be funny? This is cool. I think it's gonna. Yeah, it may be fun if he gets away with it. But I'm telling you right now, the minute, not only the person that you're pulling the gun on, if there's somebody else that sees you pull the gun, they might even come up behind you just to save this guy's life. There's people all the time from out of the corners. They'll see someone pull a gun, and they'll sneak up on that, and they're innocent civilians, man. And they ain't asking questions. They're gonna take you down. That's it. That's my input, and I pray to God that nobody ever tries this. There's too many other things you could do in life than pull a gun and think that that's just gonna be great and funny. Think about it, chat.
Distinguishable from a real firearm without close inspection. He had purchased the replica online specifically for its realistic appearance, ignoring warnings about using it in public spaces. His usual filming partner, who had worked with him for 8 months, refused to participate in the dangerous stunt after researching similar incidents online.
Yeah,
His
man.
sister,
It's
a
real
criminal
stuff,
justice
bro.
student, warned him about the current social climate regarding fake weapons and the increasing number of concealed carry permit holders in Oregon. Multiple longtime subscribers left concerned comments on his announcement video, with several threatening to report the channel if he proceeded. Jason dismissed all concerns, believing the fake nature would be obvious once he revealed the cameras and explained the prank. That afternoon, Jason convinced his roommate to film from across the street using a telephoto lens to capture reactions while maintaining distance. The roommate was reluctant but agreed after Jason promised to split any revenue from viral success. They positioned themselves near Pioneer Courthouse Square, where foot traffic was steady but not overwhelming. Jason's first 2 attempts failed when people immediately fled upon seeing the weapon, not giving him time to explain
See,
the
now
prank.
you out in the
Woman
middle of
screamed and ran into
nowhere.
traffic, nearly causing an
There could be
accident.
someone standing
Jason
over
grew
here,
frustrated, wanting better
someone over
reactions for the
here.
camera and more dramatic content. He decided to target someone who appeared calmer and less likely to run. Jason approached a 54-year-old retired police officer who was legally carrying a concealed weapon under Oregon's permit system. The man was walking home from...
What did I just say, chat? What did I just say? Out of all the people he's gonna walk up on, first of all, the man's retired. He ain't a cop no more. In other words, he made it through, 25 years and not being killed. Maybe been shot. Maybe he's been in some doozies, right? Well, this guy, he's an older guy now. He's carrying. He's got a weapons permit, and he uses that gun to protect himself from people like him. And he is not, as a cop, an ex-cop, he is not gonna let this guy just rob him. He's just not. And this guy that's holding the gun has no idea what he's a kid walking with a toy gun, and he's about to lose his life. Let's be honest, he's about to lose his life over something so petty and stupid. This is just stupid. As a gun owner, this is the most dumbest prank that you could ever do, man. You know, you don't know how people. You don't know, man. Women, they could pull out knives. They can. You don't know what people are. I'm telling you, man. Too many people own guns, man, and that is a good thing because it makes us all kind of be held accountable to a certain standard for one another. Come on, chat. Think about it.
A coffee shop, unaware he was being filmed or targeted for a prank. When Jason suddenly appeared, produced the realistic fake weapon, and demanded for the wallet to be given to him, the retired officer's 25 years of law enforcement training took over. The man immediately recognized a lethal threat and drew his legally carried firearm, firing twice center mass within 3 seconds. Jason began shouting about it being a prank while trying to show the fake gun and point toward the camera, but the officer had already fired, based on the immediate threat assessment. The entire incident lasted approximately 8 seconds from initial contact to shots fired. Emergency services arrived
Wow,
within
man.
4 minutes, but Jason died from 2 gunshot wounds to the chest,
God.
causing pneumothorax and exsanguination over several minutes, as his lungs filled with blood. The footage was confiscated as evidence in the investigation. The retired officer was cleared of wrongdoing after review, with investigators noting the realistic nature of the weapon and the threatening behavior. The roommate was questioned extensively and released without charges. The incident sparked local debates about prank culture and concealed carry laws.
God, man. What I say, chat, he lost his life over something so dumb. So dumb. You cannot want to be that famous to putting your life on the line. I mean, you're standing out there pulling a gun on someone in broad daylight, man. There's so much that could go wrong with that. I mean, there's civilians that are going to try to step in. There's going to be people that's from the side going to pull a gun, going to run out and freeze, get on the ground. And if you don't, they're going to shoot you. And if they do yell at you, give you that one-time courtesy, most people coming out and just bah, bah, bah. They're not taking the chance because you already got the gun drawn on somebody. And if they can just come up behind you and bah, they're going to do the headshot, bro. Straight up. Straight headshot.
July 23rd, 2016, at an active railway yard in Chicago, Illinois. The Norfolk Southern rail yard sprawled across several acres, with multiple tracks carrying freight trains at various speeds throughout the day. Alex Petrov, 19, was a gymnastics dropout who posted parkour videos. After failing to make his high school gymnastics team due to inconsistent performance and poor attitude, he turned to increasingly dangerous stunts to prove his athletic abilities.
There we go.
His most popular video involved jumping between downtown building rooftops, and this convinced him that extreme risk-taking was his path to YouTube success. He planned to jump between 2 slow-moving freight trains in an active rail yard, hoping to create his breakout viral video. Alex had been obsessed with action movies since childhood and believed he could replicate the stunts he saw on screen.
So here's a kid that believes he's going to do the same stunts that he sees on TV with men that they have people on the ground, they have trainers, they have people that make sure he's focused, he's sleeping, and then they go over and over and over the scenario and how they're gonna all come out of this. I mean, when you see most of these films and how they're made, they go over these stunts, 10, 20 times, at least 10 times to say, okay, we got it. Let's do it. And then they pull out the film, bam. But they're going to go over and over until they feel like they got the shot. Okay, we're ready. Let's do it. And they pull out that film's ready to go. Boom. But they have paramedics there. They have people who are training them, watching him, making sure he's doing the right thing. This guy going to just show up and he's just going to duplicate what other with other men that are trained to do these stunts in the movies. He's just gonna replicate everything that these stunt guys done. It doesn't make no sense, no whatsoever. You don't just show up and say, "I'm gonna be a stunt man." Oh no. Think about it, chat.
Practicing parkour for 2 years, but lacked formal training in risk assessment or safety protocols. His understanding of physics and momentum was limited to what he had observed in action movies and other YouTube videos. He had never attempted anything involving moving vehicles
God.
or calculated the additional complexity of timing jumps between objects traveling at different speeds. His previous stunts had been performed on stationary objects with predictable distances and surfaces. His parkour mentor, a certified instructor with 10 years of experience, refused to assist with the dangerous stunt after
Hell
Alex
yeah.
described his plan. The instructor explained the impossibility of accurately judging distances and timing with moving trains, but Alex dismissed the concerns as cowardice. Railroad security had previously chased him away from the property twice in the past month, issuing trespassing warnings and threatening
Oh, he's
arrest.
just.
His girlfriend of 6 months threatened to end their relationship over his increasingly
Oh
reckless
my
behavior.
God. Everybody's
Alex
telling this
insisted
guy.
he had calculated the distances and could
Everybody.
easily make the jumps. That morning, Alex snuck into the rail yard at dawn with his friend filming from a nearby overpass using a telephoto lens. They had scouted the location for weeks, identifying a section where two parallel tracks regularly carried slow-moving freight trains. The trains typically moved at 12 to 18 miles per hour through this section, with gaps between cars varying from 8 to 15 feet, depending on the train configuration. Two freight trains were moving parallel at approximately 15 miles per hour, with a 12-foot gap, within
God.
Alex's calculated jumping ability, based on his static
A
practice
12
sessions.
foot
Alex
gap.
successfully jumped onto the first moving train, landing on a flatbed car and celebrating for the camera. The initial success boosted his confidence, and he began taunting his critics through the camera while preparing for the more difficult jump to the second train.
Yeah.
The critical error occurred as Alex prepared for the second jump. As he leaped, the second train hit a slight curve in the track, widening the gap by crucial inches, from 12 feet to approximately 14.5 feet. The curve also changed the angle of approach, requiring Alex to adjust
Of
his trajectory
course.
mid-flight. He caught the edge of a freight car with his fingertips, but couldn't generate enough upward momentum to pull himself up. Alex hung from the train car for approximately 5 seconds, attempting to swing his legs up while the train continued moving. His friend captured the entire sequence, showing Alex's desperate attempts to climb up before his grip strength failed. When his grip failed, he fell directly between the moving cars onto the tracks.
Sure did.
Emergency services arrived within 8 minutes, but Alex was killed instantly when he fell between the train cars, suffering massive crushing trauma to his torso and head from the train wheels.
Excuse me.
The footage was seized by railroad police and used in their investigation. Alex's friend was arrested for criminal trespassing and required extensive therapy to cope with witnessing the death. The rail yard increased security measures and installed additional warning signs. The incident led to stricter enforcement of trespassing laws at active rail facilities. Thanks for watching. Want to watch more? Click on your screen.
Okay, chat, check it out. Again, don't do any stunts without professionals, man. It's not worth it. And if you haven't been doing it for a long time, get some experience, start small, or just stay away from the dangerous stuff, man. There's so many things you could do out in this world, man. You could sit along of a river and go fishing and people will love it. I'm just telling you, man, the world is too big to be like, oh no, the world loves this. No, the world loves that. No, we have billions of people. And not everybody likes the same thing. So listen, man, stop it. Chat, young people, stop it, man. You don't have to be doing no crazy stuff, man. Be you. Be what you do. Whatever you do, people will like. Guarantee there's people out there who will love what you do. Don't try to be anybody else, man. You don't have to be a stunt man. You don't have to be these things. You be you, what you do, what's your gift. It could be art, I don't know. But whatever it is, it's definitely whatever is you, it's something you're good at. And that's the important thing. It's a gift that God has given you. So listen, please subscribe. Like I said here at Truthtellers, I'm Big Rev. We try to bring the positive into this negative world and to bring the truth when there's always just full of lies in this world. Help us out, help us do good, help us do better by simply subscribing. And please write us, comment, let us know how we can do better, and let us know if you have something you would like us to share on. Okay, guys, let's have a beautiful night. Good night.